Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, calm after the storm here in the Wenatchee Valley and all across central and eastern Washington. After that big dumping of snow overnight, the sun came out today and it really wasn't that bad a day. The roads melted off somewhat, but boy, the clouds you see, excuse me, are part of some stormy weather that we could see tonight as well, with possibly more snow accumulating as we get into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. But here's our 7-day forecast. Looks pretty quiet for Thursday. There will be another storm system moving in late Friday, overnight into Saturday morning. And then I'll tell you what, Saturday right through next Tuesday, very quiet and cool weather here in north central Washington. We'll have your complete forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The Columbia River Drug Task Force is sending out a warning that so-called rainbow fentanyl has made its way to the Wenatchee Valley. A man living in a Moses Lake homeless camp was arrested for armed robbery after allegedly stealing a handgun from another resident of the camp at gunpoint. And the U.S. Senate voted yesterday to approve the Respect for Marriage Act, which would provide federal protection for same-sex marriages. But first, our top story tonight, an unusually strong fall snowstorm barreled into north central Washington late yesterday afternoon and overnight, dropping several inches of snow in some locations and making the morning commute a bit treacherous. Area mountain passes were the hardest hit, with 22 inches of snow reported on Snoqualmie Pass, 15 inches on Stevens, and 9 inches of snow reported on Blewett Pass. Many area schools started the day 2 hours late, with some canceling classes altogether today. Several accidents were also reported in the area this morning, including a Wenatchee School District bus which slid down an icy hill while making a turn on Kittitas and then hitting a parked pickup. The accident happened around 9:30 this morning with no injuries reported. The Wenatchee School District reported 6 to 8 inches of snow in the higher elevations, with 6 inches in town, while the Leavenworth and Cashmere School Districts reported 10 to 12 inches in all areas, with Chelan seeing around 6 to 10 inches of snow. Wenatchee and East Wenatchee city officials remind residents that it's their responsibility to clear snow from sidewalks around their home or business. Well, the Columbia River Drug Task Force is sending out a warning that so-called rainbow fentanyl has made its way to the Wenatchee Valley. The task force said within the past month, the multicolored fentanyl that has the appearance of candy or children's vitamins has been confiscated locally. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency says the colored fentanyl is used to target young Americans. The task force is urging the public to talk with their children about the dangers of such an extremely dangerous substance. In addition, the task force said it's only a matter of time before a colored powdered form of fentanyl makes its way also to the Wenatchee Valley. They said the powdered fentanyl already has been seized in some areas of eastern Washington. Well, a man living in a Moses Lake homeless camp was arrested for armed robbery after allegedly stealing a shotgun from another resident of the camp at gunpoint. The Moses Lake Police Department said the victim was legally carrying a shotgun Monday morning when he was approached by 45-year-old Eric Applegate, who pointed a pistol at his head and then stole the gun. After the victim called police, they obtained a search warrant for Applegate's camp and reported finding the stolen shotgun, the pistol, and an illegal short-barrel shotgun with serial numbers removed. In addition to the first-degree robbery charge, Applegate faces charges of first-degree assault, 3 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of a stolen firearm, alteration of marks on a weapon, and possession of an unlawful firearm. The U.S. Senate voted yesterday to approve the Respect for Marriage Act, which would provide federal protection for same-sex marriages. The bill is now expected to be approved by the House and signed by President Biden. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell said after the Supreme Court abortion decision overturning Roe v. Wade, it's imperative to get such marriage protections written into law.
This legislation would ensure that both the federal and state governments will continue to recognize all marriages and continue to not discriminate based on gender, sexual orientation, national origin, ethnicity, or race. These are strong protections that are long overdue. I understand some of my colleagues do not see a need for passing this legislation, but I would ask them to stand in the shoes of someone in a marriage that is in danger of being dissolved overnight by a court decision. The same rationale for overturning Roe v. Wade can be used in this landmark Supreme Court decision we just saw that could erode further privacy rights and be used in same-sex marriages. I believe it is our job here in the Senate to represent the voice of our constituents, and those voices are loud and clear. An overwhelming majority of Americans support marriage equality. According to Gallup polls, 71% of Americans approve of same-sex marriage. In September, over 220 businesses representing more than 8.5 million employees called on the U.S. Senate to pass this legislation. And this was not a bill that garnered support from just a few Republicans for the sake of calling it bipartisan. 47 Republicans and over 20% of the House GOP members recognized and this should be enshrined into law and supported this legislation. It passed the House by a large majority, 267 to 157. Americans support this bill. Businesses support this bill. And now some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have taken the step to also support this legislation. Marriage equality has been protected under Washington state law for a decade. It has been protected by the Supreme Court for 7 years, and yet there are here in the Senate, there are some that don't believe that we need to take further protections. At least 11.5 million people in this country are in an interracial or same-sex marriage. That's no less than 20% of all marriages in the United States. With a number like that, we all know someone in one of those marriages, whether they are friends or neighbors or colleagues. We know that we need to give them the same certainty.
When we come back, PUD commissioners in Grant County are considering a possible rate hike. Third graders at Washington Elementary School in Wenatchee got a chance to mix science with art thanks to a special guest this week. And with the arrival of the Christmas season comes the annual Wenatchee Golden Apple Band Holiday Craft Bazaar. We'll tell you more about that. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Welcome back. In another news, at their November 22nd meeting, Grant County PUD commissioners recently approved a $439.7 million budget for 2023. They'll also consider an electric rate increase at their December 13th meeting. The rate increase would take effect on April 1st of 2023. Under the current plan, each rate class would receive a specific increase for an overall rate revenue boost of 3%. Third graders at Washington Elementary School in Wenatchee got a chance to mix science with art thanks to a special guest this week. They were visited by Chelan PUD Education Outreach Specialist Bob Bauer, who helped them learn about jiutaku. That's the ancient Japanese method used by fishermen to record their catches by pressing rice paper onto fish that are covered with ink or paint. The special project was part of the students' salmon life cycle science curriculum, and Bauer will be visiting third grade classrooms throughout the district between now and March. Well, with the arrival of the Christmas season comes the annual Wenatchee Golden Apple Band Holiday Craft Bazaar. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz sat down with two members of the board to talk about the importance and the popularity of the bazaar coming up this Saturday.
Our booster club is absolutely amazing. It's Wendy Priest and Karen Kobeck that have been working to put the craft bazaar together, and we just have so many amazing parents that come together, and we wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that we do without them, and we wouldn't be able to go to these competitions and perform at the level we do without making the money from stuff that band boosters help us with, and we'd never be able to do the craft bazaar without them.
Craft Bazaar is put on by the Booster Club, but everybody at the band is supposed to be there, and they are. As a matter of fact, again, this is Saturday. We'll give the details in just a little bit. For those folks who don't know what the hell we're talking about, what's the Craft Bazaar?
The Craft Bazaar is an annual fundraiser we put on. Basically, a bunch of vendors with different crafts or like lotions, metalwork. They come and to the high school and they pay us a fee, and people can come. They rent a table. They rent a table. People can come buy their stuff, hang out, enjoy some cookies, some coffee.
Yeah.
And they do. Every year, tons of people.
Yes, lots of people, because it's free. You don't have to pay anything to get in, and you get to have some holiday fun. You know, you don't have to pay anything to get in, and you can come explore and see all the things people from around the valley have to offer.
How does the Golden Apple Marching Band and the Booster Club get money out of this thing? Where's the dough in it for you guys?
So the vendors pay an amount for their booth, but we don't earn profits off of what they make. They also have to donate a raffle item to our raffle, so that's how we make the majority of our money, is by selling raffle tickets. And we kind of change it up every year. I don't know, some years we sell food and drinks. Other years we've done, Color Guard's done gift wrapping, and it's just everything else except the vendors is how we make the money.
And every year the vendors come back, don't they? I mean, they sign up as soon as it's over and said we're back again.
Yes, we had a really long wait list this year. We filled all our spots pretty much instantly, and we have a really long wait list for people wanting to get in if any vendors leave even this year.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the 6 or more inches of snow overnight has made it a big challenge, but Nick Nelson is still hoping to have his popular holiday light show operating by this weekend or next. This year, the display will be at a new location, and that's meant moving everything from his Sunny Slope home to Annie's Fun Farm off Grant Road in East Wenatchee. Each Christmas season since 2014, thousands of people have made their way to Nelson's comes home. But Chelan County's Knowles Road Improvement Project took away much of the parking in the area, so Nelson needed a new location or there would be no show. Nelson talked this morning about the scramble to get everything in place.
It's all physically there, but I am working more hours than anybody would ever believe trying to get it working. And this new event today is really making a pain in the butt. There is so much that goes into this show, and there's a reason why I start setting it up in October. So, yeah, my hope was to have it going by this Saturday, but I don't know how realistic that is. I think that it may even be pushed into the following weekend, much to my dismay. There's just so much stuff to do, and now all my cords are buried in snow, and so I mean, I'm sure going to give it the old college try. But I would say after last night, only maybe a third of it is even connected yet. And so I know people will drive by and they'll see it and they're like, oh, it must be already ready. Everything's already standing up. But you don't realize that not only does everything take power, it has to get data from somewhere, and it physically has to be connected to a controller. And so and then you have to tell the computer where it is, and there's a whole lot of moving parts in a show this big. And yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we got it physically up that fast, but I had a few people come help me. I think it was about 8 people that came and helped. If I was being completely honest, I've been looking for another spot to put it for probably at least 2 or 3 years, just because the volume of traffic we get is so much that I know for some of our neighbors that live past us, I know some of them aren't happy that it's constantly a parking lot out there for, a month and a half of the year.
That's such a spectacular holiday light show, but I'm sure there's challenges after all of that snow we received last night. Look at this beautiful shot. So it doesn't even look real, does it? It's just so beautiful. It's our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera, and this is where the Methow River joins the Columbia, Pateros, and Brewster in our shots, and blue skies. And we all enjoyed that all afternoon today. It didn't make for really that bad a day, even though we were 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. 28 our unofficial high temperature today. 38 is normal, and last year our record high, and that was 58 degrees. 17 our overnight low this morning, and that's 10 degrees below where we should be too at 27. Our record cold in that frigid year of 1985, -2 degrees. We did set a record for precipitation from that snow overnight, 1/4 of an inch, and that now gets us to 7.90 inches of precipitation since January 1st, and that's over 1.5 inches above where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise 7:26, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:13. Let's take a look now at those Thursday temperatures. Not a big change from today, that's for sure. The biggest change tomorrow, it will be drier, at least all day dry. Maybe not as much sun tomorrow, but temperatures very similar today. 28 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. 27s for Wenatchee and Ellensburg, and then just a little bit cooler for our high elevation neighbors. Lake Wenatchee, our cool spot tomorrow at 20 degrees. Taking a look at tonight, we will see cloudy skies. Here's our storm system still kind of hovering over central Washington. That'll continue to bring us about a 50% chance of snow showers tonight. Maybe another inch or 2 is possible as you wake up tomorrow morning. We'll have to wait and see about that. Happy December 1st tomorrow. Here's our storm system already moving into the Midwest as our next system gets ready to move our way. But tomorrow, in between storms, mostly sunny, as we mentioned, highs in the mid to upper 20s. And then here's that storm as it moves down on Friday. Not much happening during the daytime, but as we make our way through the day and into our evening hours, yeah, a 60% chance of mainly overnight snow into Saturday morning. And then look what happens Saturday, we clear out as that storm moves a little bit south, so mostly sunny for Saturday, a little bit warmer too with highs about 30. Remember Friday, only about 20 for high temperatures. And then for Sunday to end our weekend, partly cloudy. We're going to stay on the cool side. Boy, we've been there for about 3 weeks now. High temperatures around that 30-degree mark. Kicking off our next work week, partly cloudy skies. It'll stay on the dry side, still cool. High temperatures once again right around 30 degrees. And to end our forecast on Tuesday, our quiet and cool weather will continue. Mostly cloudy on Tuesday. We will see high temperatures once again hovering right around that 30-degree mark. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast brought to us tonight by Apple Valley Honda. And as you would expect, going to get a little bit cool overnight tonight, 19 degrees, mostly sunny, 27. But look what happens tomorrow night. With those clear skies, we are really going to get cold tomorrow night, 11 the overnight temperature, 21 for Friday, increasing clouds throughout the day, a 60% chance of snow showers mainly into our Saturday morning, only 21 the high temperature for Friday, and then our temperatures moderate somewhat by this weekend. The sun returns as well. Saturday, 30 degrees. We will see 31 Sunday, 31 as well on Monday, and then some clouds as we get into Tuesday with a high temperature then of 30 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
The holiday season is here, and life is hectic. Let Merry Maids help simplify yours. You expect a lot, and Merry Maids delivers more. They'll make your home or business sparkle for holiday parties, special events, and family gatherings. They'll customize the cleaning to fit your needs and your budget. Merry Maids are cleaning experts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Best of all, your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Visit online, merrymaids.com, and call for a free estimate. Then you can relax. It's done.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel. Happy snowy Wednesday, sports fans. Luckily, the snow came after the buses left, so there wasn't any real travel concerns. So we did have some high school basketball last night. We'll start out with the ladies because it's always ladies first. Ellensburg knocked off Eastmont 64-34. Cashmere over Warden 53-47. The Brewster girls all over Chelan 43-32. Pateras over Bridgeport in a walk 63-24, and they were in Sultan, which means they couldn't get out of Sultan and make it to Cascade over Stevens Pass. They didn't play. That's the ladies. For the boys, same teams, different scores. Ellensburg swept Eastmont, the boys winning as well, 67-59. Cashmere boys over Warden, 56-48. Bridgeport boys in a tight one over Pateras, 68-64. And once again, Cascade and Sultan never got going. Girls bowling last night. The rivals, the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats, did battle at Eastmont Lanes. And Wenatchee wins 3-1. They were led by senior Hope Stringham. She rolled a 200. Junior Ava Porter rolled a 196. The Wenatchee girls bowling team is now 3-0 in league, 4-0 overall. Andre Brokowski had a couple of goals. A lot of people scored last night. He scored the game winner in overtime. That is not a misprint. Look at that. 9-8 the final. The Kraken over the Kings in overtime. The highest scoring NHL game this year. Highest scoring game in Kraken history. Brokowski scored on the power play at 2:08 of the extra session. That gives Seattle a 6-game winning streak, their second in franchise history. Matty Beniers and Jared McCann each had a couple of goals. Again, the highest scoring game in Kraken history.
From a bad start. Daniel Sprong to the point. All the way across. Matty Beniers. Point blank save. Quick rebound score. Matty Beniers cleans it up. Quick made an outstanding save in tight.
Watch this. Beniers tries to go off to the side. Quick. He'll get the pad and extend. Make the stop now. Of course, then you're looking for the puck. Then you're looking for loose men. You can see both Kempe. Not getting my chocolate milk though.
Well,
no way.
I wonder what else might be served back there. There's Jordan Eberle shielding the puck, turning the corner. Eberle centering, they score! Beautifully set up for Jared McCann.
Watch him wave his stick here. He wants it. He wants it. I'm open. Look at that. Chandra. Seattle, I believe, gets a break here. So we're in that high-scoring game first period. Need a PK.
Second power play for Seattle. Sprong to the net. They score! And again, special teams becomes part of the story. Seattle takes the lead right back. 3 to direction, top corner. Just barely missed the nets. Eberle walks in with a shot wide of the target. Dursey picks it up. Collides with a Kraken player behind the net, and they score out in front. Matty Beniers. Arvidsson out of the corner. Couldn't reel it in. Here's Eberle up ice. Eberle to the middle. Lots of room for Larson. Out wide it goes. McCann scores! McCann with his second tonight. Coleman tried to handle it in the low slot after Dursey blocked it. Knifed down by Sprong at the line. Sprong down the wing. Bad angle attempt off the blocker. Peterson and in! Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just crazy. This is absolutely nuts.
Passes to the point. Morgan rotates the puck around the boards. Wenberg holding behind the net. Wenberg still with it. Burakovsky, right side, shoots and scores! Done. Slowly. Burakovsky, stick handles. Done. Out high. Burakovsky, Seattle looking for a lane. Eberle goal line. Burakovsky scores!
Engulfed the stick of Cal Peterson. We can just tell how systematic. Now this time Burakovsky is in a much better shooting position. Watch him down to Eberle. Gets it. Back. Watch him take the list. Now he's inside. Left-hand shot, right side of the ice. So the angle is pretty good there.
Kraken return home Thursday to take on the Washington Capitals. If they win, it would be a franchise record 7th consecutive victory. And by the way, the Wenatchee Wild begin a 3-game road trip tonight in Cranbrook. They'll drop the puck at 6 o'clock. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday. Be safe. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And we're going to go right back to Dan Kuntz now for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it's the big fundraiser for the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band. The Craft Bazaar and Fair is this Saturday at the Wenatchee High School Commons. And what are we talking about, ladies?
We're talking about the Craft Bazaar, 9 to 3. It's how we make money for the band. It's a good place. It's free. You can get gifts for your friends and family for this Christmas. So many vendors.
And it turns out Sophie is a better drum major than she thought. You'll learn about that too. That's on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Now, am I looking into this camera?
Or am I looking? Where am I looking?
We're going to have you just look at
The holiday season is coming, and Santa's making his 15-second commercial for NCWLIFE channel. Are you?
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCWLIFE channel.